Hey, this is Elliott, just doing a quick little updated intro for the pod with some dates so you can come see us live doing stand-up comedy, baby. Shannon, our wonderful guest, you can see at her show Tight Tens in LA. Next show is April 23rd. After that, May 14th, and then June 25th. And I will be on the June 25th one, so maybe stop on by, say hey. Arijana, you can see at Bear City on April 5th, and Giggle Gaggle April 7th. Both of those are in LA. And me, you can check out on Friendship Buddies, April 23rd, day after my birthday. We're going big. Who knows how many LaCroix we'll have. It's going to get wild. But yeah, you can check out all those dates on all of our social medias. We'll be updating that. And that's it for me. Enjoy the podcast. Bye.
Okay, shall we get started?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. I'm Arijana.
And I'm Elliott.
And this is
Burning the Light,
the podcast where we talk about the wildest, cringiest, most salacious stories in comedy. I have to apologize for my voice, right? Like I can't just not address
you really
this.
owe them an apology.
Okay.
Your voice, my face. We have a lot of apologies to make.
So you're bleeding.
Oh, okay.
currently.
So you're just going to throw me in first.
Yeah, I'm going to throw you in first. You're bleeding because a light hit and fell you.
Yeah, because, I was setting up the set and Arijana
you should come up with a cooler story.
acted out.
Yeah, I punched
kicked a light over.
It's hard work.
And said, "Hey, Elliott, is this your $100 bill?" And I said, "What?" And then the light just got me in the face.
I actually saw Arijana beat you with the light before, so
yeah,
well, she makes sure to do body shots on that, so nothing shows.
But okay, I mean, you'll heal. It's fine. You'll have like a cool scar to talk about later, and then I'll look tough, which is great for me. But my voice.
Yeah, it's a win-win story if you say that you hit him.
That's a win.
and I survived.
I don't know how it's a win for you, actually.
Yeah, people could be like, "Whoa, that's so cool."
No, I would think it would legitimize me. I want people to fear me in like a positive way.
I think I already do. Even knowing that you actually didn't.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
I don't sound tough right now though with this voice.
All.
Yeah, no, why I made this story up by myself.
You leaned into it.
Yeah.
I did start this narrative. Like that
yes.
you beat him.
It's fine. I'll go with it.
I can throw a punch.
Yeah, I know.
That's what everyone's saying in
believes
comedy
that.
ever since you got here.
Yeah, they're a month. They're like that Arijana. She could throw a punch.
I'm gonna tell you this. I've lived here for a couple of years. Everyone was not training for UFC before you moved here.
No, and then after,
once you're here, everyone's in the gym all the time.
Joe Rogan's afraid of me. Honest
Take notes,
to God.
Rogan.
Take notes.
He was like, I was just a fan before, but now like.
Yeah.
I gotta learn some holds.
I'm number one, baby. But I don't sound tough at all.
Speaking
with
of
this
number
voice.
one, your voice is not number one.
It's not. This is amazing because I actually had no voice 2 days ago because, well, I told you already pre-pod starting that we went to the roast of Bert Kreischer, and then after that I went to a very cold kickball game. So I did it to myself, really legitimately. But
you're LA party girl.
I'm such.
She's kicking everyone's ass, including her own.
You hate kickball.
Yeah,
kickball is what she calls beating up school kids at recess.
This city really does get you sick fast, though. Like you're out every night. It's hard on my body.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Like
not
there's always something to do. There's like 8 hours of mics every night, and so it's just a lot for me. But I'm back, baby. I'm back, and I kind of like having a raspy voice. I think it's kind of sexy, crazy, sexy, cool.
It goes with your new like tough girl persona.
Yeah. I would love to be mysterious, but it's just like not in the cards for me. It's like that meme. I love that one girl. I think she tweeted. She was like, "I really want to be mysterious, but I just talk too much."
Yeah. I know.
Nothing's ever been realer for me. Like I want to so bad.
I'm also trying to shut the fuck up, so I get it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, we should introduce you. So our guest today.
Speaking of shut the fuck up.
Our guest today is the very, very lovely Shannon Hardy, who's a screenwriter and stand-up comedian and also an actress. Triple threat over here on the pod today. I wanna say though too, Elliott, this is what I was saying for the podcast, is that I met you through Twitter, I think. And you're like
I'm not even cool on Twitter.
No, you are. I love all your tweets.
It's more embarrassing for you.
Arijana messaged you is like, if I ever see you in person, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
And I was like, I would love that.
like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
you're
thank
like, no,
you.
I'd be honored.
Should
Actually,
we videotape
Yeah.
it and put it on TikTok?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to get a following.
Me beating your ass. Two hot chicks beating each other's asses. No, I actually legitimately loved your Twitter, and now you're like a real life friend now,
know.
which
I'm
is so
real.
cool. I love
know.
this. You're like an internet friend now, which is so fun. But like, you're so silly and dynamic.
I'm
Like,
silly.
You are very silly, and I love it. And every tweet is just a gift.
I love that you're like how did you say how do you describe the pod? It's the cringiest.
Cringiest, wildest, and most salacious stories. Yeah.
I have this deep fear that I think I would hope most comics have of being cringe.
Oh yeah, no. If you are afraid of being cringy, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
like that it's like embracing that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that it's funny when people are ironically cringy.
Yes.
I really love that.
Oh, those are yeah.
You do good at that sometimes. It's like
Is it irony?
No.
Yeah, no, totally
Oh
intentional.
my god, I totally mean to do it. Yeah.
yeah. No. I mean, like sometimes your stories will be so fucking batshit crazy, your Instagram stories, and I'm like, I love.
I've
Shannon.
released all control of my I feel like I'm actually weirder on Instagram than Twitter.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think that like I try to only post like once a day on Twitter. I don't know where I got that
Okay,
from, but like
yeah.
so on Instagram I just go off and I'm like my
Yeah.
family will see this and be scared, but I don't care.
Oh, see, I'm kind of the opposite because I'm like, I'll tweet 18 times a day. I don't give a shit.
That is the right thing to do, but I do
Yeah.
everything backwards.
No,
it seems.
they're every
Elliott, what's your
algorithm's
Twitter?
weird. Yeah.
Twitter's. I'm the most active on Twitter in the sense that I use it the most. I don't tweet that often.
But you'll throw in a few good ones.
I'll throw in some zingers, you know. But yeah, I have less followers on Twitter than I do Instagram, so I'm like, I don't care. But I mean, if I reactivated Tumblr too, so I might just
Ooh,
be.
Tumblr
I might be
girly.
throwing crazy shit out there.
Yeah.
I haven't decided yet.
No, I like when I like not having a lot of followers because it's like
freedom.
you're,
It's like who fucking
you're
cares? Yeah.
like going into the void, like tweeting into the void, or like your Tumblr. You could just be like, it's like a ghost page.
Wild.
Yeah.
It's my Finsta.
What do you post on Tumblr?
Well, I haven't yet.
You're like, I'm waiting to hard launch something.
Well, no, I
on
found
there.
my old one from like 2012.
Oh God, what was on there?
There's a lot of like skating shit
That makes sense.
and
yeah.
some poetry.
Damn. Did you have a Tumblr? I never had one.
I didn't. I don't know why. I feel like I would have liked it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Tumblr was dope.
I just
Yeah.
feel like it was I think it got lost in the mix because it wasn't like app friendly, like on phones.
Yeah, but that was also like before apps were
Right.
the big thing.
Yeah.
you know.
'Cause
So
I
it was
feel
its
like-
own.
Physical computer.
Yeah,
it was its own
scrolling
thing.
something is very addictive.
It really
right?
died though when
Yeah.
they said you can't post porn on there, and that's when everyone was like, "I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it."
Not anymore.
Not because
gonna
that's
do
the thing.
this,
You know,
yeah.
It's like you're not on there for it, but every once in a while you see something, you're like, okay, this is the internet.
It's the
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not?
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real. I don't know. I'm a Twitter girly for sure. But
Do you ever delete tweets?
all the time.
Every
Are you
day.
kidding me?
I just deleted one right now.
Yeah, no, I do. All the time.
What's your threshold for
Tweet and
it
delete.
gets deleted?
There's a very
Is it a numbers game or is it like I'm embarrassed by what I
there's
just
a
said?
mix of criteria. Some I'm just like, I just wanted to tweet this at this moment, and that's my God-given right.
Yes.
I'm an American.
Freedom.
Yeah. Other times it's like, okay, I didn't love that one and it only got one like. Other times it's like, oh, I'm going to delete it and then repost it later and then it got more likes. Because Twitter's algorithm is weird.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you tweet more or post more on Tumblr for you? Like, no, I know. But like when you're like doing down bad or like doing well.
Oh, down bad as in going horny on Maine?
You're
It
just
could mean
going
that.
through
Just
it?
like, yeah, like if you're like going through it, I feel like, you
That's
know.
such a good question, Shannon. Oh my God.
No, I don't.
When you're down bad.
I'm
the same.
because I'm just like I think about
I know
seeing the
nothing
other
is.
people that do that, and every time I see
It's
it, I'm
rough.
like, go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, don't like woe is me.
It's like, no, but I love it because it's like, you know, a girl is going through it when she's posting lyrics or selfies on her Instagram, you know, and I love it. I love seeing all of that.
Yeah.
I want the tea. I want the drama. I want the personalized. I want the scoop. I want the scoop. Yeah. Wait, you post more when you're sad?
I try not to. I try not to post when I'm sad on Twitter, especially because I feel like I don't have a large Twitter following, but I feel like more cool people follow me on Twitter than on Instagram. And I'm more embarrassed.
Shame is so powerful.
Yes. and it's being used correctly because honestly, I always I kind of don't like the narrative of like, oh, I'm funnier when I'm sadder, and I'm love if it works for you, but I'm like, I'm actually not.
I think a lot of people
sad
are
when I'm
not.
sad.
I think a lot of people aren't. Wait, what's your sign, Shannon?
I'm a Leo.
Wow.
What are you?
Okay, I'm a Cancer Leo.
Are you really?
Yeah.
My bestie is a Cancer. I love Cancers.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
How are you 3 things?
Well,
it's like your rising in your house, right?
Yeah. He's a Taurus.
Oh, I love
a Taurus.
I know. Are you
He's
from
a
Boston?
Taurus. Excuse him. He's a Taurus.
She smokes 1 cigarette.
He's a fine Taurus. That's what we say. It's all a joke. You want a light?
You don't have a Boston accent, and you're from Boston.
You're from Boston?
Yeah.
Nice.
My parents have such strong, obnoxious accents that I really think it scared me because I was so embarrassed to sound.
It came out a little embarrassed.
But I like how they sound. But I've always had this kind of fear of sounding dumb, and I just didn't need another thing.
Is it?
I'm already blonde
and
not that smart naturally. We don't need another indicator. Like I'm trying to appear smarter than I am.
I love the Boston accent.
Me too.
I
do love it.
Is it partly because you also did you know from a young age you wanted to act, so you were like, well, I can't have a thick accent and like go do roles that are like the blonde Californian girl. Like,
I did from a young age want to act, but I got it. I hate this is embarrassing, but like I was very misled as a child. Like I wanted to get into acting, and then no one really was like seeing that for me, and so I got into the news thinking like, all right, like they're probably right, and so so that really got rid of any sort of accent that would be there, because you have to like talk like a a robot,
like a journalist,
like a real person, like a real professional. And so I think that was mostly where it came from, was like there was an accent. Then I moved to LA, and then before that in LA I was doing like news shit, and I was
Wait, so did you start comedy in Boston or out here?
Kind of in Boston. So like my first like comedy gig was technically like I was like a comedic host for this show in Boston called Dirty Water TV, which is like an entertainment late night show on Nessun, which is like their ESPN, because New England is like in love with their own sports because they think they're the best. So like they have
dope.
ESPN
Dirty
and
Water
Nessun.
TV.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that name. That's sick.
Yeah, so I was like 19 when I started, and they would just have me like, they would have all like the hot like Miss Massachusetts like news anchors like do like the real pro interviews, and then they would send me on like, you're gonna go eat like some like clams and drink a lot of alcohol even though you're not 21, do like an ice luge and like be in a steamy kitchen. Like anything that was like not professional was what I was sent to do, like eat pizza and like bullshit.
You did like Conan remotes basically for a fake ESPN. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Gosh, we're 19, so young. Were you like?
I wasn't even allowed to drink, but I would be in bars, like, and they would be like, I would be doing shots, and I was like, is this fine? And they were like, we literally don't care what you do. You're not real to us. You're just like,
you're not real to us.
You're lucky
if you
I'm
think
acknowledging
that anyone gives
you.
a fuck about these segments, you are so mistaken.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Were you nervous for that? Like intimidated at that age? Or were you just like...
I was, but now looking back, I shouldn't have been. It was such a joke. It was like late night TV for people from Massachusetts. Like couldn't have been less serious.
I think that's awesome. Yeah. What a way to get into it. And then also getting comfortable on camera. I feel like that's so...
Yeah.
I took like an acting class this summer, and I don't think that that's my avenue to like, I enjoy acting, but like the process of being an actress or actor, I guess, is so
I think
that's
it's hard.
cringy. That's cringy to me. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, you're an actor? That's
I
embarrassing.
totally get it.
It's such
Yeah.
a scary thing to me versus like people say stand up is scary, but I think acting is way like I'm so embarrassed.
I think especially
Yeah.
when you're like trying to do anything dramatic,
Oh
you're
my
like,
God.
don't be silly,
Yes.
and then like don't laugh even when someone's trying
Yeah.
to deliver something
Yeah.
serious. You know,
Yeah.
do you do any acting or?
You know, a little bit.
I mean,
Nothing you've seen,
with that
but
face.
you know, a little bit. I sneak in there every once in a while. No, I do a little bit. I did just realize though, like within the last couple of years, how like film and TV acting is, you know, because all I really saw was theater. So I'm like, oh yeah, you know, you fucking go up there, you do your thing, and then you get done. But then it's like film and TV. It's like, oh, you're doing it out of order. Multiple times, and so it's literally just like, all right, we set up this shot, and then you have to, and then that's it,
Yeah.
and then we go do something else, and it's like you have to be able to like access all those emotions.
Oh
at,
yeah,
like,
I remember
a drop of
learning-
a hat, and I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking nuts.
That's a good point. I remember learning when I was younger that things were filmed out of order, and sometimes you do like the most intimate scene first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, they should do every movie in order.
No.
Well, and then also thinking about it too, it's like you have to, if you do something later in the movie,
Yeah.
you have more, your character has more information.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have to jump back to the beginning, and then you have to like, okay, I have to forget
Get
that
in
this
that
is
head.
what
Yes.
happens
Yeah.
and like this change or whatever.
That is true
Yeah,
though.
it's
Like,
weird.
And also the fact that there's just like all like these cameras and stuff around you,
Yeah.
and you have to just ignore like where you're at.
That
and
too. Realizing like whenever they're like, oh, looking out, you know, into whatever, and the camera's there, it's like the set is all there. So it looks
Right.
like it behind them. But in front of them, there's just like 20 people fucking standing there in like black t-shirts just staring at them.
Yeah.
And with the theater, you
Yeah.
kind of get a reaction on, even if it's not a laugh,
Yeah.
like a,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
That's such
you
a
know,
good point.
Yeah.
The reaction thing I think is huge for like stand-ups.
Yes.
You know, where it's like I think acting for me is so scary because you don't actually know how you're doing. Even when it comes out, you don't know if people are going to like it.
Yeah.
You know, like how
Or if I'll like
terrifying.
it.
Yeah.
Ron Funches talks about that on
Yeah.
his podcast. When he first started, he was like really confused because if no one was laughing on set, he thought that he was doing bad.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we can't laugh because it'll ruin the take. And
Oh,
he's
see,
like,
that
"Oh."
sucks. Yeah. But so out of the three things that you do, is there like a first love?
I think my first love was screenwriting, and now I'm in this period of like loving stand up more because I do think that, you know, there are some stand-ups who are more kind of improv-y or whatever, but I am more of a writer. So I think that like stand-up is quickly becoming more of my favorite because it combines the writing and the performing from acting,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. that's
And
a
also
big
it's just
deal.
like fun to hang out with people.
Yeah. Comedians are fun.
Yes.
Generally,
Yeah.
we're a little
Yeah.
neurotic, but
Yeah.
we're all fun.
Yeah, there's some to look out for, but
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the most part,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, LA comedy scene too. I mean, we've talked about it a lot on the pod. It's just so every scene has its own kind of little
Quirks.
pockets and quirks and stuff. But LA is a tough scene. You meet a lot of people, but you also it's harder to like find that little group of yours and stuff. But how long have you been in LA now?
I've been here for almost 6 years.
Okay, so you probably found your people and like your rhythm and stuff. Yeah.
I think that I did have trouble though, even because I started at USC. This is annoying. This is just like this is
Shout
the
out.
thing I have.
You're
and it's still
wearing
shitty.
Shout out our
sweatshirt.
sponsor,
I know.
USC.
I love that.
And I was just so fucking awkward. Like I went to film school out here, and then I just like felt wrong for wanting to do stand up because I didn't do it in college, and also like I didn't feel like I was a pure stand up. So when I
wow.
interacted with people, I just felt super apologetic, like I was doing something that I wasn't supposed to be, and they could like see
okay.
right through me, and I just had this stink of insecurity.
Yeah.
And now I'm like secure, and like I'm like, oh, now I'm so much more fun, and like found my people once I like kind of got rid of that feeling of like, because I think most people always knew they wanted to do stand up or be
Yeah.
in comedy, and I didn't. So yeah.
Bo Burnham talks about that when
Yeah.
he started, and he would go and he, got big on the internet, and he would go to these things, and he was like, I wasn't even trying to do stand up.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, really, I feel like a theater kid hanging out with a bunch of really high level comics. And he's like, I'm like 19 years old and I'm hanging out with like Judd Apatow. Like, he's like, what am I doing here? You know?
Yeah.
And he very much is like, no, I'm not really a comic. I'm a theater performer. And I think it's like kind of like comedy is so wide now that it's like, it's okay to not be like a purist about it, you know? And
I get
think,
that now, but you know,
when you first
at the time
start,
you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, did you guys always know you wanted to do stand up or?
Well, his is kind of interesting.
Well, I always really liked stand up and I would watch it all the time as a kid. And I really liked it. But I never I'm from Wisconsin, so I also feel you about the accent thing.
Yes.
I'm like, people are like, you don't sound like you're from Wisconsin. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, you really don't have any slip ups either.
Sometimes I do. I can't. When I talk to my mom,
when does it come out?
Okay.
When I talk to my mom.
Yeah. Shout out
but
to
it's
mom,
not even
mom
like
that
bad, but I can hear it.
What about when you're drunk?
No. Well,
I feel like because you're not
stopped drinking 3 years ago.
Oh, did you? Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Oh, it'll be 4 years next month.
Oh, yay.
That's wild.
Congrats.
But yeah, what were we saying? Oh, no. So I always really liked stand up and I would watch it all the time. Like when I would stay homesick from school, I just put on like Comedy Central. So they would play like the old, Upright Citizens Brigade, Strangers with Candy,
Golden Age,
Premium
man.
Blend, like all those shit.
Yeah.
So I would just watch that. And I always kind of like had a mind for it. So I always liked the people where I was like, oh, this seems very off the cuff, you know, whatever. But if someone I'm like, you can tell you've done this a million times and it sounds robotic and like this and that. And then I had a friend, I didn't go to college, but I had a friend who was in college in Madison that started doing open mics. And so we would go to like watch him and support. And
he was so bad. And you thought,
no, he was good. He was good. He had a lot of jokes about jerking off, but he was good.
Okay. Yeah. Don't we all?
But then there were other people there that I was like, I could fucking do this.
Yeah.
Or not even that. Like I'd watch him and I wouldn't laugh, but I'd enjoy it just because I'm like,
because you're thinking, because you knew that you liked it so much that you're really watching.
I'm thinking, and then I'm like listening. I'm like, I can finish that bit, or like it should have gone this way. That's better. So this is before I even tried it, and then I got to a point where I was just like, oh, I guess I should try it, and then I tried it, and then I was like, oh yeah, this is.
Yeah, and I feel like because you went to a performing arts high school.
Well, it wasn't officially.
Well, sort of, I guess, kind of thing. Like I feel like you were around people where like it was. Like you were around creative people and you got to see other people doing their thing. Like even if it wasn't directly stand up, I feel like that inspires you.
Oh
like,
yeah, I was always too shy though.
Yeah,
to do, like,
exactly.
Theater. And my cousins did theater too, and I always thought that was super cool. But I was always like, how do you get into it? Like how do you even start? I was like, I have no idea. I remember seeing, I think it was my sophomore year, seeing my friend James. Shout out James Romney. He's in fucking Harry Potter on Broadway. So watch your damn mouth.
Who's he playing?
The dad, I think.
Is the dad dead?
I don't know.
Is he playing Harry's dead dad?
James Potter? Do you mean Albus Dumbledore?
Albus Huxley? Is that? No, that's a real person, right? That's a writer.
You're asking the wrong.
You're just making people up. There's
Albus.
Well,
he brought his own character to the table. He said, "I'm gonna do Aldous Huxley." I don't know,
Aldous
but
Huxley wrote Brave New World.
Yeah, so that's what he does.
You guys are too smart. I've literally caught 0 names I've said in the last 30 seconds.
But yeah, he was in the musical. They did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and he was just in like the chorus, and I like saw him up there, and I was like, how the fuck do you even get there?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, yeah, you just got to do it.
I felt the same way. I would watch other people perform and be like, man, I know I can do that, but I can't audition. I would literally freeze. Like they'd ask me to sing and I'd be like, I'm going to sit down.
You have such a cute face for the screen too.
No. You know what? I had to, when I worked in production, I had to stand in for people a lot of the time, and I would get so flustered and I would just like talk. I talk when I'm nervous.
They're like, bitch, you just stand there.
Yeah. But their cameras are like right here, you know, or like they were filming my hands one day and I'm so embarrassed about my hands. Like I just have really like just horrible nail beds and stuff. And they were filming.
We're so insecure because like I'm hearing you and I'm like, yes, this is what goes through my brain.
And it's like in 4 fucking K, and I just get so, and they're like, aren't you a performer? And I'm like, yeah, but no one's recording me like right here in my face, you know. And I get so There's just a leap. It's not natural.
Yeah.
We should not look at our faces that much. We should not be that close to our pores,
No.
like, you know. And so I don't know. It's just very.
Women know their angles. They know their lighting, and to not be in control of that,
right,
and to be expected to be confident.
Yeah, I'm an Instagram actress, so
yeah.
No, but I would watch people, and I knew I wanted to perform, and I always kind of harbored that secret. I would never tell anyone that, but I made a promise to myself that when I turned 21, I would try stand up, and so that's how I did it, and then I just never stopped.
I got a due date.
No, I have to, or else I won't get anything
Otherwise,
done.
I'll kill myself.
No, I literally, I will. I'll do it. I'll do it on the pod.
The day after your birthday, you're like, well, goodbye.
I didn't do it. Yeah, I didn't do it. Yeah, no, that's how I had to do it. But yeah, what was your, how did you like decide you're going to try it?
This is, this is embarrassing, but I knew I really wanted to.
Yeah.
And then I feel like this is what happens to me is I date people and it's not that I like them. There's just that. And I don't mean it. I do like them, but it's more that they have a quality or a thing that I wish that I could have. And then you realize it's like, beautiful. I idolize them, you know, like, and so I had this, like, my first boyfriend was like the funniest fucking guy, and I'm still friends with him. He's great.
That's awesome.
And he,
Moki's barking. That's not cool. That's not cool.
She's right. She's like, fuck your ex.
Right. Yeah, you're so real for that. Yeah.
And he was so funny, and he was doing stand-up.
Okay.
And then
does he still do it?
He does improv now.
Oh, wow.
Back in Boston.
Okay.
With Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah. Shout out Frankie Sparko. He's like, I hate your guts.
Wait,
no kidding.
That's his real name?
Yeah.
That's a fucking
That's a good name.
It's a good stage
He
name.
should be famous. Frankie Sparko?
Yeah.
How do you say it in Boston?
Moki, no, honey.
I guess you just don't pronounce the R, right? Like this, like Sparko.
Sparko.
Like if you're a little drunk.
Frankie Sparko?
Frankie Sparko.
He's gonna kill me. He's
we
gonna
can
like
cut
watch
anything,
us. No,
by
he's
the way,
actually no, he's fine.
Yeah, nice. Oh my God. Well, we're so excited to have you from Boston to LA, baby.
Yeah.
But you have some stories or a story prepared today for us?
I do.
Okay.
I don't know why you said that. Like, that's not the whole reason she's here. So you
well,
wanted to.
I don't know
so
if
you
it's,
have
you
like
contacted
something
us about telling a story.
Well, I don't know if it's multiple stories or one. Or,
did I get that right?
You know, you're so sassy today. Let me remind you that I beat you.
Yeah, you beat the shit out of me.
This is why you got.
Yeah.
He gets mouthy.
This is the only time I can speak up on camera.
We bicker so much. I'm so
That's
sorry.
like the true like podcast host. You have to. It's fun.
Yeah.
I love like my favorite friends are the ones that we can like be mean to each other.
Oh yeah,
it's like a little bit of a love language.
Yeah, when people can't roast each other.
Oh my God, it makes me so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, it's gross. Like you need to be a little mean.
It's okay.
You know,
like,
it's
I
okay.
Think, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like an East Coast thing too, where like I just didn't get it. I'm like, so everybody, okay, I can't be mean ever.
Yeah.
I don't mean it.
Yeah.
It's like means I like you actually.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you feel comfortable enough to do that and just destroy someone's life.
I love when people bully me.
Yeah.
I love
too.
to be bullied.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring
like
back
unless
bullying.
you really like unless you actually detest me, maybe not. But I'm like, even if you like kind of sort of like me and you bully me, I'm like, that's nice.
You heard it here first. Shannon said, please bully me.
Go nuts in the comments.
Please. They're like, bitch, we were already coming for you. You didn't have to ask.
Yeah, this is going to haunt you like years later when you get a huge gig.
I just say that so that like if people bully me, they're like, oh, you know, she asked for it when in reality they were going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm ready for your stories.
So my first year doing stand-up, y'all heard of Flappers?
Flappers, yes.
Shout out another sponsor of the pod, Flappers U.
Out in Burbank.
I'm so embarrassed already. Like,
my God.
It was truly like my first stand-up gig and my last time at Flappers. And so I was there.
Wait, like you've never been back?
I've never.
That is.
I can't.
This
I
is
can't.
This is
First and only time.
Oh my God. It was so. I am a very anxious person already, and like with stand-up, I was so. My first year, I was so nervous to do anything to like, I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know what Flappers was, like
no
kind
one
of a
tells
joke
you either,
place.
by the way.
Like,
There's not like an internet Google site where it's like how to not be a fuck up at your
Yeah.
first gig. Like, you just have
how to
watch
not
people.
embarrass yourself within the comedy scene.
Yeah.
Didn't have any. Yeah, took so many else, but I got there and like I was so dead nervous because it was truly like one of my first shows, and and I had dressed up in like this suit that I got from work because like I worked at an agency and J-Lo was represented there, and so she would like give out free clothes to the assistants, and so I was like,
You were wearing a J-Lo.
I was in like a $500 outfit, okay, and it was like
Is it a bedazzled sweatsuit?
it was just a plain black.
Was it
one
her
piece.
clothes?
It was her clothes. Shout out J-Lo, Leo.
J-Lo was just giving people
Wait,
her clothes.
like her brand, or she was
her
like,
brand of clothes.
I was like, I love you,
I
but
wish
where's the
I'm
ass
smelling
going?
it. Like whatever she's got, like let it rub off on me, and the heels too. And
That's
it's
kind of very nice.
she had given it out
Yeah.
that day, so I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like
Yeah.
I'll wear. I got it, and I was like, I'll wear this to my show. And I get there, and it's like these heels too, and they're clunky, and like I immediately have diarrhea as soon as I get there because I'm so nervous. And if you haven't been to
Turns out-
Flappers, it already smells like diarrhea.
Yeah, but it turns out it was because of the fabric on the clothes, and that's why
Oh
she
my
was giving
God.
them away because it was
It's like, you
tainted.
stinky bitch.
Oh my God, I love that you came. You were like, I'm ready. I'm going to be in this sick outfit.
Immediate
And then poop.
Like I get nervous shits. So like I
Don't
was
we
like,
all?
Yeah, most comics do.
Who hasn't shit in a comedy club? Riddle me this. You
yeah,
know?
the
Like,
plumbing at Flappers is truly so bad. So I was like, all right, at
Yeah.
least like they won't know it was me because it smells so bad.
They're like, there's
Already.
no way to know if this happened
Yeah.
today or
Yeah.
last week.
That
Yeah.
is so funny. It's just been there.
Yeah.
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 So they tell me I'm thinking it's a low like stakes thing because it wasn't like any other big comedians, and then they're like, oh, Whitney Cummings is gonna be on it, and like you're gonna open for her. And now I'm more nervous because I don't know, like, you know, like
Wait,
Your first ever
it's
show?
not a mic.
Yeah.
It's like this
Yeah.
your first show.
yeah, so I'm nervous.
Oh,
Like, you know,
yeah,
I don't
of
know, I don't know
course.
shit. Like
The first time you open for anyone who's like a big name, you're
Yeah.
like, I just shit again and I need to go again.
and she was at the time I was working for an agent. She was my boss's client, and I didn't want my boss to know. So I'm like,
Yeah.
like, oh, she's gonna fucking tell him. Like, who gives
Yeah.
a shit? Like, honestly, who does? But like to me, I cared. And then so
Well,
I,
also you want to do well in front of her
Yeah.
just because it is that situation.
and I don't want to say anything to embarrass myself to like her be like her go tell my boss, oh, she sucks.
Yeah.
Like, which I did. That was my first year.
Yeah.
And so the suit like ties at the top, so like I have to get naked every time. I've run into the bathroom to poop like 3 times.
I didn't realize you were diarrheaing.
That's
in
so
a romper,
wild.
in a romper,
That's wild.
a $500 romper, just in Flappers, like truly the most like, oh my God. And so then
It's incredible.
I have to keep undoing the button. And so the last time I went to the bathroom, I guess I didn't put the button on properly.
No.
So I get
No,
on stage.
Shannon, no.
It goes bad. It goes real bad. So I get on stage and I'm like 5-10 seconds into my first joke, and I'm just tits out because the button pops up, and I'm just in my bra, and I'm like, that's why they call it Flappers, right? And they're all just like, lady, we can see your boobs. Like, what is happening? This is also being recorded. And so, like, I just roll with it. I thank God I didn't bomb.
Which
But,
honestly,
like,
cool
I think
trick if it was on purpose. You know, I would have been like an audience member. I would have been very impressed.
I'm like, I stink and I'm nude. Like, I don't know what's happening. I truly blacked out. Like, I can't really like remember anything that I
That's
said.
so vulnerable.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like
How
one of
did
those
people
bad
react?
dreams.
Were they like kind of giggling? Or
Oh, they
was it,
laughed.
like,
They thought
okay.
it was fun.
Okay, so that's good. At least it wasn't
I was
like
still young.
Yeah, yeah. Lots of pedophiles in Hollywood.
It's Hollywood, baby. They're like,
Yeah.
is it a nude teen? No,
Yeah.
I was of age.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so people could enjoy my boobs, but
Those are some 18-year-old boobs right there.
oh shit, those aren't going nowhere else. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were. I like still like I'm like that was like the worst. Like it was people like were laughing and it was funny to them, but to
Yeah.
me it was just like it was truly like traumatic.
yeah.
Like in
Oh my
terms
god,
of like
yeah, of course.
I'm like my stomach hurts. I don't know what's happening, and then like
no.
yeah. So and then I get off stage and the woman who runs the show is like, we filmed it. You want that tape? That was great. And I was like, I never want to see
Delete that
this
tape.
ever again.
Yeah.
I will never come back to
Yeah.
Flappers.
Oh
And
my
they're like, we'd love to have
God.
you. And I'm like, no. But yeah. And then Whitney Cummings, like, it ended up, they had like a happy ending. Like Whitney like came up to me and she was like, me and all like the older comics that were here, we were just watching, like, knowing that you were new, like, do we go out and help? And then she was like, I held them back and I was like, let her figure it out. This is how you learn the ropes. Like truly like so Whitney.
So Whitney.
And then she was like giving me tags and stuff about my mother. And like, it was like, yeah. So it was like,
she's telling me punch up my jokes.
Yeah,
about
then
my
she
mom.
just started.
Yeah.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, she's just kind of roasting my mom, which was.
She actually brought Jeff Ross on
Huh.
to roast my mom.
Yeah.
and she was so like sweet and nice that it was
Yeah.
like kind of the perfect ending to that.
Yeah.
And that was, you know.
I kind of love that story. I'm sorry because I mean, if that happened to me, I would have been mortified. Like I probably would have cried after.
She was like, this is why comedians wear like pajamas on set. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to look nice. What the fuck are
Yeah.
you wearing?
Oh, I
Like,
can't look nice on stage.
No.
That's like I know it's something mentally that I just need to get over, but like I would never like wear heels on stage.
Never again.
Because I'm so like I've never worn a dress or a skirt or anything either, which is
No.
like I know that's just something that I need to get over mentally, but I've like internalized this like comfort thing
Yeah.
and also just like probably like a little bit of misogyny, internalized misogyny of just like
100%.
you can't be feminine and be funny.
Yeah, I think that is so part of it. And like
Yeah.
now I want to be in jeans and comfortable, but I also like I want to do my hair. So I like kind of try to make
Yeah.
the
That's
middle end
true.
if I can. Sometimes you're in a
Yeah.
rush and you're like, fuck it doesn't matter if my hair is
Yeah.
greasy.
Well, also like you want it to like match what you're performing as and like what your personality is like.
Yeah.
And I'm always in sneakers, so I just wear sneakers on stage. And I mean, I look nice, like I
Yeah.
don't look sloppy, but
Yeah.
like you wear what you wear in your life, you wear on stage.
Yeah, I wear this on stage all the time.
Yeah.
This exact outfit.
Yeah, I know.
This is one of my nicer shirts.
It's just maroon.
Unless like
It's a good color.
It's a good color for you.
It's
man.
from Target.
men don't even have that. Like they don't think
Men
of that.
don't
I
think-
mean, it's like that or a suit.
Men don't think
Yeah.
about
What are
this.
you on Letterman?
Well, yeah,
you know?
I either wear
Yeah.
this or a Steve Harvey suit.
And then
Yeah.
when you
Kings
show
of
up in a
Comedy
suit,
style.
people are like, "Oh, look who put on the fucking suit," you know.
I think I love when people wear like
Yeah.
for a certain thing. If a guy wears
Yeah.
a suit,
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
Male comedians do need to dress better. There's only a handful of people I can name that actually have style. Like
Yeah.
because most men dress pretty simply, which is not wrong. Like you dress
Oh,
fine.
I don't know. You laughed pretty fucking hard right there. So.
Where are you guys from? Seattle, both
Seattle.
of you?
Well,
No, I'm from
Wisconsin, but
Wisconsin.
we met in
but you met in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
In Seattle, if you dress up, people are like, "Oh, look at this celebrity."
Well,
Like,
look who's
People
not
in Boston
depressed.
are too.
Yeah. Do they
Yeah.
dress like
Trying.
really casual in Boston?
They dress like absolute shit
I love
every
that.
day, no matter what.
Yeah.
I
So,
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. I want to be more confident on stage though with the outfits. I feel like it'd be legitimately cool.
I
you
think
know?
it just depends. Like it depends on the situation, obviously.
Yeah.
But also, especially moving out here, I'm like, I'm not fucking trendy. I see
Everyone has a
people.
thing.
I
LA
see
comics.
people. Literally, when I was driving here, I drove past that flea market.
Yeah.
And I saw people, and I was just like, ugh. Like I.
You
Like it's
said, "Ugh."
good. I like it, but I'm
Yeah.
like, that just looks so tiring to me.
The
Yeah.
effort
To
to
the-
put it
Try
out.
all
effort
the
to
time.
do
I
all
think
that,
there's like a
yeah.
happy medium. It's
Yeah.
like sometimes I want to try.
Yeah.
Like I don't always have to dress like crap,
Right.
but sometimes most of the time it's like
Yeah.
it's cold. I don't know.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah, I just want to wear
yeah,
a
like
hoodie.
I'm not trying when it's cold.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely
Yeah.
not. And it's been cold this winter. Let
Yeah.
me tell you something. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well,
what
that's
is
also
this?
coming from the Midwest. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can look good to a point,
The sun sets at
but
4. Are you
then,
kidding me?
yeah, as soon as the sun
got-
sets, you're gonna be fucking freezing.
You need
Yeah.
those winter boots, baby.
Yeah, I mean, when I go back to Madison, I see people walking bar to bar, and girls are still wearing skirts. I'm just like, wear whatever you want, but I know you're cold.
No,
you know,
no,
I'm not
say it.
even.
Be,
I'm not.
Be rude right now.
You know,
Be misogynist.
If I had my way,
Do the misogyny.
you wouldn't have.
do the
You wouldn't even have a
misogyny.
bank account to buy that skirt. No. Just go full and all the way back. I don't think you should have a credit card.
Yeah.
No.
We're your pick-me's. Come on. Yeah.
yeah, wear your
Yeah.
pickies for sure.
But I mean, that's just the thing where I'm like, just be comfortable. That's like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm more of, I understand fashion.
But
I totally
I love-
understand fashion. I totally get it. But
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I totally get it.
Just be comfortable. You know, life's too short. Just
Yeah.
fucking wear whatever
But
you want to wear.
I do love when I see people put in the effort. I just,
Oh, 100%.
I can't, I'm so. Here's what it really is for me: is like if I bomb and I put.
Oh, when you're
effort
dressed
in,
nice. Oh my God, it's so
God.
embarrassing.
There's nothing worse to me. There's absolutely nothing worse.
I just had a
to me.
physical reaction to like, there's a knowing.
There's
it's
no.
Like,
it's so
Don't look at me.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been in a nice outfit, heels,
Yeah.
tight dress? You're looking like, oh, I'm a legend right now. Okay, and then you trip.
I'm thinking of if someone bombs but they're wearing like a tight dress or skirts, they have to walk off stage, but with like the little steps,
Yes.
so it takes even longer
Yes.
to get all the way to the back.
I can't. And
just
Yeah.
and also, I think you are right. I think women, don't have to think about these things a lot more. And it's like, I can tell when I've worn certain things or started with like a certain bit that people perceive me differently.
Yeah.
And there we go. Every pod, he opens it at the worst time. We gotta have a little soda can.
I was
open
struggling
here.
with it for a while.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get there one day. I did on accident go to a mic in a skirt once because I didn't have enough time to change, and I was up next. And
Well, they don't matter at a mic. They
yeah,
can
but
fuck
everyone, all the dude comics, like turned and looked. No one was
Shut
paying
up.
attention the whole mic, and then they turn and look at me, and I just felt so gross. And I was like, I never want to do this again.
Yeah, the open mic scene is a freaking nightmare out here. There's I mean, I really truly only like 3 mics here.
Yeah.
There's
There's
I'll
a
go to
few
them,
good
but-
ones, and all of them are run by women or queer people.
Yes, yeah.
All
Yep.
of them. All the good ones are just women and queer people, and I love that.
Can you
But
name drop your favorites? Because I'm looking for new ones
I
too.
love
Flappers.
Actually, they had a,
You do like the Flappers.
no,
Mike.
they actually had a good. When I did the festival, I haven't been back to Flappers since, but I did their festival this summer, and they had, I think maybe it was a Sunday night mic or maybe it was a weekday night mic, but people were paying attention.
They do.
Because
That
it's
is
in
the
a
thing.
little sidebar kind of thing, and maybe it was just lucky that night, but like people were paying attention.
I will say that
Yeah.
I've been to the Flappers mic and it was
Yeah.
good. I did feel like
Nice.
people were actually listening and
Yeah.
responding. It felt like,
'Cause
and it was
there's
also
not
so
much going on in
full.
Burbank.
It was very full, which is
Yeah.
also helpful to like make it like
Yeah,
feel like a real show.
But I love Fred 62.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love
Fleetwood.
Good Fat. Milan runs it on Saturdays at Vino. There was another mic I liked. What's the name though? Oh my gosh.
Is it gay?
Probably, honestly. Yeah. Oh, Genghis Cohen has a fun mic.
I haven't been to that one yet,
That
but I've
one's
heard
fun.
that.
Yeah, we should go together.
Yes,
They're on
I actually live
hiatus.
near them.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I don't know
you
why I
live in
haven't gone.
Hollywood. That's
Yep.
so funny. Yeah, no, they do a great job. And like Jake and Molly, I think Molly, I think that's her name. And Jake Jacobs, they most of the room is comics. Sometimes they get other people, but like people are supportive and they stay and they watch and stuff, and they'll actually like you'll get something good out of it, which is nice too.
I like Skin Tag, but they've
Oh,
been
they're
like,
coming back.
I want them to come back so bad.
They're
my
coming back
favorite.
tomorrow on Sunday.
tomorrow?
Oh, Sunday.
Tomorrow's for
Yeah.
sure?
Wait,
Yeah.
which one is that?
Jesse Morner, Rick,
Yeah.
Carly Kane.
Oh yeah, that used to
Yeah.
be like right by my house.
Yeah.
At
It's coming back.
at the airliner.
Yeah.
It's
You guys
coming
wanna
back to
go
the
tomorrow?
airliner.
No, well, okay, we're recording tomorrow, but I think we might finish in time. It starts sign
3?
up at 3. I love that on the podcast. Everyone's listening. 3, and then it starts at 3:30. I would love to go to Skin
Where
Tag.
is
it?
I don't know if they changed
change
their
it.
location
Yeah,
now,
because
but
that
I'll
one
check.
it
I'll
was
send
literally
to
like
you.
$3. I could walk there.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
walk there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, but I've
It is
been to a
East
few,
Side.
but then like everything's been on hiatus. Too,
Yeah, it's the
'cause, like,
holidays.
winter and stuff. Yeah,
The
but-
Offbeat is a good one too. You
Oh,
ever
yeah,
go
I've
to
heard
that?
Offbeat is really good. Yeah,
Who?
Yeah.
Matt LeGrand runs it?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I forget her name.
Yeah. And then
Rachel something?
I go to the improv. I get up every time.
Have you gotten up every time you go?
No, I got up once,
Oh.
and the little switcheroo that happened.
Oh, that's
There
right,
were 2
yeah.
Arianas in the bucket.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, is it Rocky who runs it and someone else or
No, not
Someone
anymore. Rita.
Rita?
Is
But
there,
there's
and
some
it's
other
it's
guy. What's his
rotating
name?
house.
Is it? It's not Josh. There's another guy that sits with her, who also
bald?
helps book shows. I don't remember. I can't recall. But Rita watches it, which
Yeah.
is so. She just seems so chill to me. Like she doesn't seem like a booker that's like. I mean, I'm sure every booker's crazy in their own way, but she doesn't seem like I'm gonna, blow your brains out kind of crazy.
No, I mean,
She doesn't sit there with a gun on the table, which is nice. It's relaxing.
Yeah, no, it's relaxing
for a change.
Nice vibe.
Yeah. I haven't. I tried to go to their mic actually. I think last week and it was canceled. I was bummed.
Oh dang.
But I always have a good time at that mic.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of like a bummer to not go up, but like
they're more frequent now too. They have them like 2 or 3 times a week.
I think 2
so.
times.
Tuesday and
then
Wednesday?
They used to have one on Fridays, I think, that was just for women and like non-cis white men. So the mic scene here is interesting though, for sure. It's kind of rough.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You get a sense of things really quickly though. Like I know immediately if I'll ever be back to a mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have any other stories for us, or is that the main one?
I one time did a show and for like 2 minutes I just hit on this woman and it was
You're like, so I sexually harassed a woman.
And I do that, and I'm asked not to come back.
Yeah,
but
and I'm in trouble for that. Weird.
Whoa, okay.
Come on, woke culture. And so it was going really well. It was funny, and then
we made out. No.
yeah, I was serious. Like she was hot, and like. And then I get off stage and it was like the headliner's girlfriend.
Hell yeah.
And I also didn't realize that like she's like a famous musician.
Oh.
And I was like,
Who was it?
Lauren Ruth Ward. She's actually so cool, and we like became friends afterwards.
So
and I
funny,
apologized. I was like,
Shannon.
I'm so sorry. I just kind of like I had a couple shots, and you were in the front row being attractive and talkative. So
yeah, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, like how do you
You were in
sit there all sexy and talkative, and I'm not gonna
You
say
were in the
anything?
front row looking like that.
What do you expect?
That's
mean,
when the
we've got
Boston.
eyes.
That's when the Boston came out.
Yeah.
I was raised around the grossest men possible. So like as like someone who's like attracted to women, I have to like constantly check myself. I'm like, you can't just speak like you can't like
That is
like
so
the horny
funny.
levels of which like
Boston really ruined you.
yeah. Like dating in Boston was different.
What is it like?
You're straight shooters, really. You know, if you want to fuck, you're gonna know immediately. And that was just like kind of, and that's really how I date. Dudes and women. Like I'm like, if I like you, I'm like, so when are we seeing each other again? Like just like dead in the face. And they're like, I don't know. You're like, I hit on a woman at a bar the other week, and she was just like, why do you talk like that?
You were like what, bitch?
That's like
I was like, I am attracted to you. And she was like, why do you speak like
the cadence is so off. Like what a way to hit on someone. But you know what? Though?
My exes are always like, you were just so upfront. I was like,
That's how
I
you
got
gotta
no
do
time.
it. That's how you got to do
No,
it.
you actually do though. I love when people are so direct because
Look, I like your vibe.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I like your vibe is even too.
You, me, broom closet. What do you say?
Now.
If someone told me I like your vibe, I'd be like, what is my vibe?
Oh
Like,
God.
yeah.
you know, like I'm just so that way where I'm like, what does everything mean? Like, let's dissect every single word someone said. It's so.
Do you guys get hit on after shows ever? You guys are attractive, well dressed,
No,
funny.
you know, I think it's different for women, I guess. But like, I mean, every once in a while, someone will hit on me in person, but it's always like the grossest dude you've ever seen. What I get a lot more of is like the weird Instagram DMs afterward that are like backhanded compliments.
Oh yeah.
Like I get this one a lot. It's like, you know what? Don't listen to what anyone says. keep fighting for
Don't
your
listen
dreams.
to what they're saying
And
about
I'm like,
you.
who's saying? Are people saying things?
I know a dude who would say that as a joke when he first met you. He'd go, you know what? I don't care what the other guys say about you. You're cool. And then you're like, wait, what?
What did he say?
Like, who's saying that?
That's so funny.
That's
I get a
funny.
lot of that, and I don't get hit on. Like
You just
I
got here
don't-
though.
No,
Give
I
it a
just
minute.
mean like in general, like even in Seattle, I think Seattle guys just don't approach women. That's
Really?
like they are like the shyest people you've ever seen in your life. Like they're so awkward.
Interesting.
In LA though, on the street, people will stop me, which is like so weird. I had a guy at the train station kiss my hand. I was like, What is happening?
Why were
There's
you
a
at the
black
train
Jew.
station?
Yeah, wait, why were you using the LA public transportation?
Hold on.
He was an autistic
No.
black Jew. I have to tell you the story. So I go down. I go downstairs. I was visiting. I didn't have a car at this point. This was like this past summer, and I was going from here to Santa Monica, and I was like, okay, well, let me take the rail station, you know? And so I go down there, and there's this guy, and he's like, would you watch my phone for a second? And I was like, this is weird.
Your phone?
Yeah, I was like, I'm about to get involved in
And then he
some
didn't leave. He just
government
held it out.
investment.
He's like, look
No,
at this.
he was like, I need to run up. And I was sort of like, I don't know.
Can you? Yeah,
and
that is
then
a
he
trap.
was like, well, I need, my phone's dying, but I need to run upstairs and go buy something at like the little shop they had upstairs. And I'm just going to leave it here. Would you mind watching it? Which I'm thinking, you're lucky I'm a nice person, because anybody else would have just stolen your shit. He left everything with me. And I'm like, okay, well, my train's coming in like, 8 minutes. So if that's enough time for you, like, I'll watch it. Like it was just charging under the bench. And
oh, okay. Yeah,
he comes back down, and he bought candy, and he kept telling me that he was autistic. And I was like, I love that for you so much. That's so sick.
I love that for you.
And then he was
You
like,
wear it well.
he was like, do you want some candy? Like, that was
This
so
is how
nice
I hit
of
on
you.
people. I'm getting nervous. I'm like,
Well, he was like, he
And actually, he looked a lot like you.
Scooby-Doo moment. It was me.
you're a black Jew.
Yeah.
But
Famously.
he was trying to offer me candy, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet, but no, thank you. I don't have a sweet tooth. And so I was like, just like, no, thank you.
I don't have a sweet
And
tooth.
then
I
That's
take
why.
candy from strangers.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, he was taking
First
candy from
rule.
strangers. And then he like shakes my hand to thank me, and he flips it and he kisses it. And I was just like,
Oh.
no. But I was like, I was just like, whatever, my train's coming in a minute. You know how you deal with sexual harassment.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
what a gentleman. He's from the 1840s. But he's like, keeps telling me, he's like, yeah, I mean, you've probably never gone out with the black Jew before. And I was like, oh, we got a triple whammy right here. We got an autistic black Jew. And I was
guilt,
and I was like,
candy, phone.
and
Yeah.
I was like, you'd be surprised, actually. Well, you think
Like,
I
actually,
never.
all my exes are
Actually,
black
Drake
Jews.
and I went out.
Yeah.
It was so funny. And then later that day, it was either later that day or the very next day, I was going to a show, and I was taking the bus because it was just like a 20-minute bus ride. I was like sick. And I get hit on by the guy
I
next
thought
to
you were
me.
going to say he was on the bus.
No, that would have been funny though. But I get hit on by the guy next to me, and wouldn't you know it, no judgment here, but he was a
Autistic black Jew.
recovering addict who had moved to LA to end his substance abuse problems, dressed
Not
in
the best
Yeah, I was going to say,
wildest
this is kind of where you
outfit.
go to ratchet it up.
Yeah, exactly. But he was wearing the wildest outfit, just pattern clashing everywhere. And those are the kinds of people that hit on me. So I'm doing great. And then I get a lot of just
I
like,
wish I knew good men.
yeah, no, do any
I
of
know
us?
no good men.
Yeah, no. And you know
Besides
what?
my new friend Elliott, who
Yeah.
you already know.
He is a good guy. Elliott is a good guy, but he's the only one. And
Not
that's it.
autistic.
Yeah, he's not
Not
autistic, but
Jewish.
he is black.
Half. We got the half.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah. But that's what happens to me. Do people hit on you? I'm sure you get it all the time.
I know I'm so like I'm really awkward though when people hit on me. Like there was this guy who asked me on a date, like, and it was years ago, and I had a boyfriend at the time. And then like I recently saw him, and I like invited him to something. It's
As like an in for him, like to, or you were just being friendly.
so well. I have an alternative.
I love
you
that.
know. So
Yeah.
like, it's actually the event is tonight. Yeah. So I invited him to this thing.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, like this is three years ago he hit on me, and I'm like single now. So
You're
I'm
like,
oh,
I remembered.
I have a list.
Yeah. A spreadsheet.
Let's just say
It's a board with red twine and push pins.
not many like people who I would actually be interested in hit on me. So I was like,
Yeah.
I remembered.
Yeah.
And so I invited
Is
him
he
to this
coming?
thing.
Is he coming?
Yeah, but I have also invited like a lot of friends because like it's
Okay.
someone who I'm like, even if it's not like that, I would still
That's
be
a really
friends with
good
you.
move.
Yeah.
That's a really smart
Yeah,
move.
because also it's like whatever. And so he like came up to me because I happened to see him at a party before the event, and and he was just like, hey, and I was just like, hi, these are my other friends. She is a, what are you, a lifeguard? Because I just met them.
What are you, a fucking lifeguard?
Yeah, and she's like, who? Like, yeah, she was like this, like, I had been hitting on this other, like, woman and, like, her friends. I was hitting on everyone. And, like, and then he comes in.
I love your
and he's
energy
like,
so much.
yeah, it's like, I'm going to hit on you, but in a terrible.
Yeah, give me 5 minutes.
It's not going to be good, but it's going to happen. And shoot the shot.
I'm just going to use that now. What are you, a
What are you,
lifeguard?
fucking
Yeah, and she was like,
I'm a
I work
teacher.
with kids.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fucking save lives. And so I was just so nervous because I was like hitting on these women who were like 3 years younger than me. And there's nothing wrong with that age difference, but I felt
Sure.
bizarre.
Yeah.
And so I felt caught. And then he was like, hey, Shannon. And I was just like, hey, this is my friend. She's a lifeguard. And then I walked away.
Oh,
Nothing
my
else
God.
was said.
That's
and that was-
Kind of mysterious.
Yeah, it was very mysterious.
You're gonna have to be
is
back on the
generous.
pod so we can follow up on this.
Yeah.
Not.
Oh,
date,
it's gonna be
date.
rough tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
You can just come back tomorrow. I'll give a quick update.
yeah. Give a little. Yeah. You know what? Tomorrow, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Thank you guys for having me. This
Yeah.
was so fun.
Oh my
this was
God.
seriously so
Are you
fun.
kidding?
You guys are awesome.
Your stories.
Do you have a
were
crazy good
traumatizing.
story?
A crazy
Ooh.
what story?
Good story? Like something good that
For
happened?
stand up?
Yeah, or acting or writing or whatever.
Yeah. One time
Just
I
to
was
end it
doing
on?
this like I was running a weekly show at Formosa Cafe.
Ooh.
And I was so sad because someone had just like broken up with me or something. And then I went and I did a set and I thought it was kind of shitty, but then there was like a director who came and he was like, I thought you were really funny. And then he like booked me on a thing in New York and now we're like really good friends.
Oh my
and
God, I love
Wow.
yeah.
that.
And so that was like maybe my second or my third year doing comedy. And I was just like, oh, like, you know, it was like, don't expect bad things all the time. Like,
Yeah.
you never know. And you know, yeah.
That's Hollywood, baby.
Yeah.
That's magical. I love that. That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that's awesome.
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even at your, you know what's funny? Even at your lowest moment, you can have a good day.
Yeah.
You know, I do love that about comedy.
They're trying to be more positive. Just like if you expect better
Yeah.
things, I mean, it might not work out, but you're more likely to.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
I think
good
that would be my
story.
advice too, to like,
Yeah,
people. It's
I-
like just expect good things.
Nice.
Like whenever you go to a mic, especially like expect to like have a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah. Don't go in being like, oh, this mic is gonna suck. Kind
think-
of thing.
I think you always have a better set if you just go into it saying I'm gonna have fun anyways.
Yeah.
And then even if you bomb, like go have fun with the people there. You
Yeah,
know, like
that's
don't just
great
eat
advice.
shit and
Yeah.
be miserable. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes you have to, but
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's great advice. Thank you
Mhm.
for sharing.
Mhm.
Well, where can the people find you?
Don't find my Twitter.
DM me on Instagram if you're hot.
Yes, find me on
Yeah.
IG, Twitter. My IG and my Twitter are the same. Just Shannon Hardy 78 and then Shannon Hardy 77 for the tweets.
Ooh, what's the difference in the year? Just a
I like sevens
artistic choice.
and the Shannon Hardy 77 was taken on Twitter, so I you know
Change it up.
I had to switch it up
Oh
on
my
them.
God, Elliott, where can the people find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms at Grent Radish, GrentRadish.
What a pro!
Thank you.
Insane. And you can find me at Arijana Ramic on all platforms as well. But that's been the pod. Did we do it?
Would you look at that? Yeah.
Look at us.
I think we did it.
The light's been burned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the light has been burned. Bye.
See ya, flappers.